Hello and welcome to The Boldly Going, where we discuss all things Star Trek. We go through various series. I am Joe, sometimes known as Merlin, and I've got the Film Fanatics here with me today. Dan over here.
Hello.
Justin over there.
How's it going?
Going back to the classic original series to talk about the much-loved Conscience of the King, and who would like to do the synopsis this time around?
Is this a much-loved episode?
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
It is.
All right.
Wow.
It is.
I'll do it.
All right, Dan. Talk about the much-loved Conscience of the King.
Well, do you know why I should be leading this?
Because the yeoman's in it?
Because of the Nichelle Nichols singing number.
That's
My favorite part of any Trek series, when Nichelle Nichols sings for 5 minutes.
Lovely callback.
Look, she has a skill, and they're like, hey, Nichelle, please sing for us.
Oh, God. All right. Well, so the plot goes like this. The Enterprise is called to Planet Q by a Dr. Layton, who is a scientist and a Kirk friend. And it all turns out to be a ruse because basically he wants Kirk to confirm that the leader of a Shakespeare troupe on the planet is actually Kodos, the Executioner.
What a name.
I love it. Well, and of course, Simpsons.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's where they got the name Kodos
Definitely,
from.
yeah.
Probably. See it. This guy massacred thousands of people previously, including the families of both Kirk and Layton.
I believe they said 50% of the planet's population.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
Yes. And so there were 9 people alive who could still ID Kodos, but of them, 7 have recently died.
Uh-huh.
And then Enterprise member Riley, who is one of them, has an assassination attempt, which means Kirk is the last one up and around that can ID this guy. So, I was a little surprised to hear you say that this is a very beloved episode.
It is.
But I was equally surprised at Justin's shock at that, because I don't think it's terrible, Justin. And I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts, but I thought it was decent.
Yeah.
But I think it relies a little too heavy on...
Attack.
Well, I was going to say the singing.
That too.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I guess themed with, the performances on stage.
Yes, I know. But, if I wanted to watch a variety show, I would have turned on Andy Williams in the 60s instead of Star Trek.
Well,
Okay?
you're going to love the one episode of Trek where it's not really an episode of Trek, but a pilot for another show.
Oh, thank God.
This sounds horrifying.
Is it for the Uhura Variety Hour? The Smile Time Variety
never
Hour.
got picked up. Yeah, that's what it was.
Sick of that. I do like the Kirk and Bones relationship in this episode. Bones is really on his A game here, looking out for him. Bones and Spock have some interesting things going on. I can appreciate on one level that they were trying to sort of mimic the whole Shakespearean
Death
feel.
of somebody, yeah.
And the death and the plots. But the overacting in this episode, even by Trek standards, is...
How Trek is Trek.
Yeah,
Did you like
pretty a lot.
His daughter?
She was the worst of them.
Wasn't she terrible?
Oh my God.
She might be the poster child for Trek sexism.
She's pretty bad.
Yeah, she's pretty bad. So listen, there's some good things about this episode. I like the plot. I like that his name was Kodos. I leave this one with a B.
That's fine. Justin, what do you think about it? You weren't feeling this one at all, huh? Which is fine. I might feel a certain
when you
way.
introduced How Trek is Trek, I wanted to give you a lot of grief for it, but then came this episode.
Trek can be Trekked.
Yo, what were you going to give me grief about? That was a great segment.
I like that concept, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was mild. It was amusing. It was definitely amusing. But I think this is a classic case of Trek tries to go overly cerebral, and it just doesn't go half as well as they want it to. The idea is bold, and I'm sure there are scholars who will talk about how ahead of its time this was.
Probably,
and
yeah.
the problem with that is if you're going to go Shakespeare and you're trying to interject like classy actors into a show that's notorious for bad acting and campy dialogue and other things like that, it's like if the 1960s Batman got Laurence Olivier. It may not necessarily detract, but it kind of feels out of place. So To be fair,
Well, I don't know, because I think that Star Trek certainly tries to be cerebral all the time, and whether or not it succeeds or not just depends on the writer.
Was Trek known at the time for its bad acting, though?
No.
Or did that... See, I don't think it was, Justin.
Maybe,
I
I don't think
later.
it was like on the same level as like other shows at the time, but remember, earlier television, people overacted more, stage
True.
stuff left over. And I wouldn't go so far as to say that Trek was never known for having any good guest actors appear. You know, I mean, sometimes
that's not.
You know,
I get that. I
you know,
get that.
so
But I'm saying,
there's good acting in Trek. I mean, if it was that bad, it would not have any respect. It would just be.
but particularly in TOS, Joe, come on.
There's some good acting in
It
TOS.
was one of the things it's known for is the terrible acting.
It's-
But
it's-
I don't think at the time it was.
It's campy, and I mean there is plenty of bad acting in it. But to say that it's all universally terrible acting, I don't think it's not pure camp. Is what I'm trying to say.
It's not pure camp, but it's often camp.
Yeah, it's often camp.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not 95% of the time, but
Well,
70.
I guess it's kind of like
65,
What do you
take.
what do you expect some of these performances when they have to act opposite to paper bags and say they're spaceships?
No, it's.
You know, like the camp comes from the
you're
atmosphere.
not wrong.
That
Joe.
is
You're
true.
not.
You know, like if it's a little too serious, then it would just be bad. You know,
But
and-
here's the thing. This is an episode that takes itself so ridiculously seriously.
Don't they all?
To varying degrees, though. Like, there are some where I'm fairly convinced they're sort of in on the joke.
Yeah, I think sometimes they have more fun with it than others. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one, they are 100% committed that this is like a first-rate thriller, and
I like
it's just...
the bombs.
Yeah, I think they think they're doing an episode of Playhouse 90 here.
That's what it seemed
Yeah.
like.
You know, and it's not quite up to that
It
level.
really isn't. And Shatner's probably one of the worst offenders in this episode, which is at times amusing. But like the overall, like some of the big themes, the ethical exploration at times, I thought was actually really interesting and honestly one of the big saving points of this episode. But the overall execution, especially with the Nichelle Nichols karaoke hour,
I can't.
Guys just don't love it.
was
I just don't see the point of it.
it's just completely out of
It's-
place,
it's just-
especially in this episode.
It's time filler.
Yeah.
Oh, we only wrote 39 minutes, but we have to fill 42. Well, give Nichelle a number. She'll do it.
Must include
I'm a swore
spacemen
right there.
and
That's how mad I am.
but fear not, we have Spock on harp.
Hey, that Vulcan harp, man. I guess you guys might want to hear what I think about it.
I can't.
But
But wait, first I want Justin's
yeah,
grade.
Justin's dancing around this grade like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's okay. Just
we,
tell
we've gotten on so many tangents, but for
Well,
me,
he's
this,
dancing because he hears Nichelle Nichols singing. And
see, it's that good. It's that, see, saving
that
grace.
statement is rather
Right.
fitting, I must say.
Yeah.
But no, this is probably the most disappointing, one of the most disappointing TOS episodes we watched. I live with a C.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I don't like this episode very much.
Okay.
Personally, I like the thriller aspect. I like the mystery. I think that's always kind of cool when Star Trek tries to do that. I think it takes itself a little too seriously, and I think there's just so many assassinations left and right. I think it gets a little overflowing at certain points. Though they do almost kill O'Reilly, who I hate. So you know, you know, if you guys remember, he was the singing guy from an earlier episode, I believe,
Oh,
if I remember correctly.
I don't.
Or will that be later?
Maybe later.
That might be later because we don't remember this.
You don't remember Riley? Okay, maybe that is later.
Does he do a great duet with O'Hara?
There is some singing involved.
no.
There is.
You know, but it actually kind of works for the plot in that case, so maybe not. But in this case, I don't know. Like I like some of the themes they go for. I actually like the villain. This one, I think he's interesting.
Yeah, same.
I think that
He's definitely interesting.
You guys didn't mention him at all, but he's pretty cool. The whole redemption thing, despite everything he's doing. I'm like, all right, it's interesting to look into that. But it's a very messy episode. I think very uneven. But you know, it's still pretty enjoyable for the most part. I lived with a B minus actually.
Okay.
Okay, I like this one the most,
Yeah,
despite the singing.
yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I thought that would
Not a
like,
complete deal breaker. I can accept
No,
that.
listen, I really liked the interaction with the main three in this episode. I thought they each had a really cool thing going on, and really, Kirk's life is in real danger, not just kind of.
Oh.
Well, he might fall into something. Like a lot of times he's like sort of in danger, but like
he's
legitimate
there's somebody
pretty
out
minimal
to
yeah.
get him.
Like this
time.
is a specific threat from a specific
person
that they know will be coming for Kirk.
That is
rare.
That
was interesting.
That is rare. You're
Yeah.
right. That's true. That's cool. But
then they have some more Trek conventions at the same time, like
Going at the same time.
they pick up the hitchhiking woman, and then she's like, "Oh, I really need a ride," and Kirk's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do for me?" Like, come on,
Really?
like,
well, Kirk has to bust some moves even while his life's in danger. He's got no time. He's got to do what he's got to do. Classic
times of
Kirk,
the
Kirk.
essence for him.
No, Dan. Time. Is
You're
of
right.
the essence.
You're right. My bad.
But no, I think it's an alright episode.
Yeah, it's okay. I like the theme and the plot better than the execution.
That's what I think.
I would
Agreed.
say.
You're right. Definitely
Absolutely
bolder
agree.
than the execution was able to do. But yeah, I guess that'll wrap it up this time. So not the best TOS, which is rare. You guys generally like the original series quite a bit. But next time we're going to go back to Next Gen, and we're not going to have an episode I care about for a few more. And
No more lore.
not
I
this
suppose
season,
not,
I don't
no.
believe, but there
Okay.
is an important episode coming up soon, very soon,
Okay.
which is good for Next Gen. Well, I don't know if I want to say it's good, but it's important.
Okay.
Much in the same way Data Lore was important, but not necessarily good.
True.
Depending on what you think. But, season 1's drawing to a close in the near future. But, yeah, guys, say goodbye.
See ya.
Till next time.